Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to call the Warrick County Commissioners meeting to order. Today is September 9th, 2024. Chief Deputy Grease, can you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business is area plan.
You're up, Molly. Move.
Being mean to you.
Our first one's an ordinance change. It's an ordinance to amend Article 2, definitions, Section 2, terms defined of the comprehensive zoning ordinance in effect for Warrick County, Indiana. The purpose of this ordinance is to amend the definition of a home occupation to include the accessory structure. And the APC gave a unanimous recommendation on this.
So Molly, didn't we address this like a year or so ago, or what's this actually mean?
So this is the first time this one's been brought up. We have a special use for home occupation that allows someone to run a small business out of their home.
Mm-hmm.
But it has to meet certain requirements. It can only be so big, like a percentage of the house, 25%. It's supposed to be in the house. No employees, no signs, shall not be visible from the exterior.
Okay.
So we had a lot of them, like hairdressers especially, to meet their requirements and entrance requirements and things like that, do it out of a barn or something out beside the house.
Okay.
And we find that keeps coming up, so we thought just amending this to allow that to happen
That's what this is.
in the accessory structure instead of just a house.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
So I'll entertain a motion for the ordinance change, and that will be ordinance 2024-12.
Make a motion to approve 2024-12.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
My motion carries 3-0.
We have a request to rezone PCR 2406. It's Yukon LLC by Daniel Ubler. Owner is Macon Court by Daniel Ubler. It's to rezone 4.83 acres on the south side of Oak Grove, 300 feet east of Oak Grove and Whitechapel, from M2 General Industrial to PUD R1, one family dwelling. Ohio Township, Section 18 and 19, 6 and 9, advertised August 1st of 24, and the Area Plan Commission gave a unanimous favorable recommendation at their meeting on August 12th.
Jim Worley Jr., project engineer. You all saw this project come to you last month as Oliver Place subdivision, and you approved road plans and drainage plans last month. This is simply the rezoning to all of that ground out there in Danny land is industrial, and so we have to downzone it a bit to put houses in it, and so it's a downzoning.
Any issues, Mr. Saylor?
Nope.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2024-13.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
We have another rezoning, PCR 2407, petitioner and owners, Country Gal LLC by Lisa Friedman Warren, the owner. It's to rezone 2.81 acres on the north side of Oak Grove, 460 feet east of Oak Grove and Whitechapel Road, from M2 General Industrial to a C4 General Commercial. Boone Township, 18668, advertised in the Standard August 1st, and the Area Plan Commission gave a favorable recommendation at the August 12th APC meeting.
Jim Worley Jr., project engineer. This property is almost right across from the last one. It's ground. We had it just a while ago in drainage board also, but it's ground that she had purchased from Danny Ubler. Again, it's some of that industrial type ground that's all being downzoned. We're downzoning to a commercial zoning. Commercial zoning allows either residential or commercial to be built. And she's had thoughts about what would it look like if it had like a farmer's market or a little commercial node with a coffee shop or something in that area. Is a lot more housing goes out there. And so by taking it to a commercial zoning, she'll be able to sell it either as residential or as a commercial site because in Warrick County zoning code, it kind of trickles down.
I thought she was gonna put like a little farmer's market out there, but she rented a place in Melvin's spot, did she not?
I think that's a different one.
Oh, is it?
I don't think I know where you're talking about. If that was hers, I didn't realize it.
Oh, I assumed it was hers. I just assumed that was
She
hers.
never, yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I'm not
You know
positive.
more about it than I do, so I
Yeah.
just.
The problem with this one, Commissioner Saylor, is a C4, you can put about anything in the world in there.
That's a true statement. It's currently M2, but you can put everything in the world plus 10 other things currently. And so this is more restrictive than
Than
what
an
it is,
M2.
than what it is currently. And so I agree with what you're saying, Commissioner Johnson, but this is a more restrictive zoning than the other one. And for what it's worth, the owner of this property, she owns to the north of it and to the east of it. And she's thinking she may want to end up building her house up in that area. And she said that she's going to make, before she sells it, she doesn't know if she'll do some kind of private covenant or something because she doesn't want something nasty coming in and then it messing up the view from her future house site. So that's something Lisa's very much aware of. And so.
So, but the APC gave a favorable recommendation, so.
It was unanimous.
Yeah. Would you, I mean.
But at that time, the way she described it and what she was going to do with the property, it was a wonderful place.
Mhm.
But if things have changed, then that could be a problem. And if it's zone C4 and if she sells it, anything can go in there. Just letting you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, nothing's changed on that front.
And I think she has great intentions. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah, Lisa's she's a swell lady, so.
Yeah.
And again, the C4 is more restrictive than what it currently is. I mean, if she sold it now, it would sell as an M2.
Well, yeah, the M2 is industrial, so you can do everything you can in C4 except live there as M2.
Yeah, so this just allows her to sell it for residential if somebody would want to buy it as a.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Carries 3-0.
Ordinance number?
That would be 14.
Sorry.
Our next items for APC are street construction plans. Our first one is PP 2411. It's Primrose Retirement Communities 2, PUD. Owner Newburgh Retirement LLC by William J. Schaefbauer II, Vice President. Approximately 17.12 acres, north side of Lincoln Avenue, 0 feet north of Lincoln and Estate Drive, being Lot 1, Primrose Retirement Communities, and Parcel 1 in Orville Grand 2 parcelization. Ohio Township, 28, 6, and 9, and they are requesting no street improvements.
Jim Morley Jr., project engineer. This one was again in front of you all a while ago. The fact that it's 17 acres, it's because we had to replat the existing facility to add the little piece that we're actually building on. But when we did the original Primrose, there's commercial drive entrance was put in on Lincoln Avenue, and this new section just connects to the existing internal roads. It does not connect to a public street. And so we're seeking no road plan improvements.
Mr. Sherwood, does Bobby have any issues with any of these street plans?
No, the existing entrance was deemed sufficient for the increase of development.
For all of them?
Yes,
Okay.
and we won't maintain anything publicly inside the development. It's all private.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries 3-0.
We have a primary plat, 2412. That's all of Yukon LLC by Daniel Eubler, owned by Macon Court by Daniel Eubler. Approximately 4.83 acres on the south side of Oak Grove, about 300 feet east of the intersection of Oak Grove and Whitechapel. Ohio Township, 18 and 19, 6 and 8. They are also requesting no street improvements. This is part of the Oliver PUD subdivision, and the intent of this is to split the ground off. And the subdivision comes with a different plat.
Jim Morley Jr., project engineer. As we spoke in Drainage Board, this is simply to transfer the ground from Macon Corporation to Yukon. The actual road plans were approved for the real subdivision were approved last month as part of the Oliver Place subdivision.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries 3-0.
PP 2413,
I turned it down too low, nobody can hear it.
Gotcha.
okay. This is Moist subdivision, petitioner owners, Macon Court by Daniel Ubler, president, and Moist Concrete Supply by Roger Moist, owner. Approximately 6.38 acres on the north side of Prospect Drive, 600 feet east of Prospect and Commerce Drive. Lots 1, 2, and 3 in Warrick Research Industrial Center number 4, and lot 42 in Baywater at Berkshire Phase 1. Ohio Township, 19, 6, and 8, and they're requesting no street plans at this time. The engineer has signed off.
Jim Morley, your engineer. This is a project where we had, I think, 3 parcels and we're just combining them into one parcel. And so there's no new road access planned. They're just utilizing their existing.
I'm good.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries 3-0.
PP 2414, Schnur 2 sub. Petitioner owner, Schnur Family Trust. It's an enlarged trust. And this is the property that's 68.75 acres on the east and west side of Epworth Road, 1,000 feet north of the intersection by Epworth and Van Road, Ohio Township. And they're also requesting no improvements to Epworth Road.
Jim Morley Jr., project engineer. This is, we spoke on this previous, this is, they own ground on the east and west side of Epworth Road, and they wish to sell that ground to different people. And because of the way the tax lines were, the lot lines were, they have to do a subdivision. The intent is that this is just a transfer property. If they actually develop on the ground, they would come back either for road plan approval or a commercial drive permit.
Good with it. Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
PP 2415, Big Daddy number 2 subdivision. Petitioner MMP Property Holdings LLC by Josh Willie Phillips. And Josh Willie Phillips is the owner. Approximately 0.49 acres north side of Camp Person Road, 0 feet east of Camp Rosend and Old State Road 261, being Lot 1 in Big Daddy subdivision. Ohio Township, 27, 6, and 9, and they are requesting no street improvements.
Jim Morley Jr., project engineer. This is an existing piece of property. If you go out there now, it just looks like a big yard, and they're just splitting that big yard up into, I think it's the three building lots.
3 lots?
Yeah,
Yes.
3 lots. And so they would just be driveways onto Camp Rose Inn Road, just like all the other houses along there.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
PP 2416, this is Country Gal subdivision. It goes with the rezoning that was just approved. It's by Country Gal LLC, the Lisa Friedman Warren, approximately 2.81 acres north side of Oak Grove, 500 feet east of Oak Grove and Whitechapel. They're requesting no street improvements.
Jim Morley Jr., project engineer. Again, these are just 2 large lots that front on Oak Grove Road. And so they would just have a driveway that accessed Oak Grove Road.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Tremont subdivision. Petitioner owner is Caskin Inc. by Tina Sundays, president, approximately 1.26 acres on the east side of South Plaza Drive, 0 feet south of the intersection formed by South Plaza Drive and Rose Hill Drive, being parcel 1, Newburgh Plaza South. Ohio Township, 34, 6, and 9, and they're requesting no road improvements.
Jim Worley Jr., project engineer. This is this property, kind of over there off of Old 261, has existing buildings and drive entrances and parking lots already on it. They're just splitting the property apart. There's 3 buildings on there currently and parking lots that go with them, if that's what you're looking at there.
The land's already improved.
Yeah,
With
it's already,
buildings and
it's already
parking
fully
lots.
built out,
You're just splitting the
Yep.
parcel.
just splitting the ground up.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
My motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
PP 2418, North Warrick Industrial Park Number 6. Petitioner is Phoenix Properties LLC by Brian Hurst, manager. Owner Phoenix Properties LLC by Brian Hurst, manager, and Warrick County Redevelopment Commissioner Steve Raleigh, executive director. Approximately 148.44 acres, north side of Nobles Chapel Road, 1,500 feet east of the intersection of Nobles Chapel and State Road 57. Lot 11 in North Warrick Industrial Park, Section 4, and part of Outlaw A, North Warrick Industrial Park, Section 1. Greer Township, 7, 18, 4, and 9, and they are requesting no street improvements.
Jim Worley Jr., project engineer. A large chunk of this ground is kind of up in the industrial park and not really part of what we're doing. And the part that really comes into play is along Nobles Chapel Road. We're expanding the ground that Phoenix owns. And then Phoenix will put in on the plat, there's an ingress egress easement, and they'll put in a joint private drive to get to their property and to an adjoining lot that Warrick County still owns. And so when we do those site plans, we'll bring forward a commercial drive permit at that time, but we're seeking no road improvements.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
My motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jim.
Next order of business is our action agenda and approval of minutes from the August 26th, 2024 regular session.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
My motion carries 3-0. And next is board appointments for the BZA. I think we finally have a nomination here.
Yeah, I've received a nomination, Miss Sherry Sherman. This is an appointment until the end of the year. So I'm going to go ahead and nominate Sherry.
I'll second that nomination.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. Sherry, did you want to give a speech?
I think she should.
Next order of business is our county administrator.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tonight I have the consent agenda of the County Auditor Certified Claims Voucher Report Date September 4th, 2024. The payroll voucher report date of September 6th, 2024. The riser repair by Environmental Management Consultants, LLC, and the wellness trail use request for Pro Rehab's Total Joint Trek 2024.
What is the riser repair? I don't remember that one.
There was a broken riser at the old landfill that they had
Oh, yeah,
to,
okay, gotcha. I was thinking of the vent stacks here.
yeah, no, that's something else we're still working on.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
My motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, that's all I had.
And next order of business is our acquisitions administrator.
Sherry Severs, Acquisitions Administrator, Warrick County. The first order of business I have is declaration of the EMA disaster response trailer as surplus. Today, we're going to ask for the 2023 24-foot EMA disaster response trailer to be declared as surplus. This is a 24-foot trailer with electric hookup and 2 AC units, VIN number ending 1247. Matt wants to use the money to go toward a 24-foot new disaster response trailer. As stated in IC 522-22-4.5, we are permitted to use an approved internet auction site connected with the electronic gateway. Listing must include a detailed description of the property. Gov Deals meets all specified requirements. Once the surplus declaration is approved, we plan to list it on a reputable online auction platform. We would like to set the opening bid minimum $6,000, noting that any opening bid $5,000 or more guarantees additional advertising with Gov Deals, therefore increasing our chances for a successful sale. I have attached some very low quality pictures for you to review. IC codes on the back. We've done a little bit of homework on what trailers are going for on the internet. And I'm telling you, they're just all over the ballpark, anywhere from selling for $10,000 for a 2002 unit without air conditioning. And we've got air conditioning units in ours and electric hookups. A 2004 selling for $15,000. There's one in here, a 2004 for $17,800 and all the way down to $6,995. So I'll give this to Heather to pass around for your records as well. Now, do you need to add anything for the commissioners?
EMA director. I took this in front of my board due to the fact that this was actually purchased back when Dallas Scott was the EMA director. So that's been 20 plus years ago, and it was bought with EMA funds. So to make it, I made sure our EMA advisory board approved this. The reason why I'm doing this is the age. It needs a lot of work, and on top of it, it hasn't been maintained. So if I do this, I can use the funds that I got from the MEOC with this to give us a grand total to work with different companies, get 3 quotes and see about getting a new one for the county. Brought to my attention when we just had that tornado, it was worse than what it was. Our disaster response trailer would not have been up to par. So I'm trying to get everything up to par moving forwards.
And just because stuff's old don't mean we get rid of it. We keep Bob around.
True.
Wow.
And I'm in bad shape.
You're looking good, Commissioner. Looking good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But yeah, moving forwards with my vision with EMA, I'm trying to get where everything is up to par. We've been doing a lot of different things in the EMA, so with community outreach. So I'm trying to get everything up to par.
Can this not be refurbished, Matt?
So looking at it, I mean,
I can't tell by the pictures, so.
the roof of it is pretty bad shape. And then with inside of it, I mean, we're talking a lot of work inside of the trailer itself. And with this, it's so heavy. And what I'm trying to get is a lighter one and outfit it the correct way. And I had in the EMA advisory board, Chief Byers said that he would help because it would be almost similar to what the hazmat trailer looks like in Boonville.
Matt, Bobby Miller has just located a vendor down, I think in Georgia. He picked one up today that he had, I think, spec'd out, but you can spec out your own trailer. They'll build it to your own specs. And I'm thinking about ordering one out of there. So
Do you know what company it is?
yeah, I can get you the company name. You can call and get a price from them, but I think you can get it spec'd out. I think they'll insulate it.
They'll custom build it any way you want.
Yeah.
Because
insulated.
the funds that, like I said, I'll get from this trailer and the MEOC, Also, I would have some funds in my account as well to make sure that it's stocked. And also, I'm trying to get grants from other companies as well to be a part of the project.
I just know sometimes to go back and try to, something needs insulated, once it's outfitted, to strip that out and that insulation after the fact is sometimes more cumbersome and expensive, to tear something up and have it done, to specs.
And his new truck is a General Motors, so it probably won't pull it, so we need something lighter.
Is that age?
I'm getting beat up here.
So we're just asking to declare this surplus, that's all, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm okay with it. I make a motion to approve the request to declare the EMA disaster response trailer surplus.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, commissioners.
You're welcome, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. The next thing on the agenda is a surplus of Highway Department, a large tank and spray bar. So declaration of a tank and spray bar surplus from the Highway Department. This unit came from an older distributor truck, and the tank and spray bar are estimated to be valued at about $1,000. I request that the 2,000-gallon capacity Etnire Centennial topper with an 18-foot spray bar, serial number S2869, be declared surplus. As stated in IC 522-22-4.5, we are permitted to use an approved internet site connected with electronic gateway. Listing must include detailed description of property. GovDeals meets all specified requirements, and all of your IC codes are listed on the back of the page. Again, I'm asking to have this tank and spray bar declared surplus to be put on GovDeals for auction.
Good.
Is that a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion to approve the request for the tank and spray bar to be surplus.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners. The third item I have on the agenda is to follow up from last meeting on Judge Granger's project. Dennis Lockhart and I reviewed this project. Dennis went with me and we looked at it. He confirmed that according to state statute, since the wall needing construction is under 90 foot and there's no need to involve the state on that, the new wall will not have electricity or impact the current water suppression system on the lighting. Dennis also confirmed that we don't need an engineer or design firm for this project. In light of all contractors' current workloads, I suggest putting out an RFP and scheduling the project for the beginning of next year. This would allow contractors to catch up on their committed jobs due to the tornado activity in the county this year. I verbally outlined this proposal with Judge Granger on August 27th, and he did not express any objections. If you flip your handout over, you will see Judge Granger's response via email. I'm asking the commissioners to allow me to submit another RFP for this project on the first of the year.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Sherry, I understand long-term, everybody's busier and all get out. Would it make sense to go ahead and extend the quotes out and try to get quotes now, and understanding that we may not get it done until the first of the year? That way we get on a list of some type?
Yeah, and that's totally up to you commissioners, and I'm happy to do whatever you'd like as far as putting that RFP out. But as far as getting anybody in there, and that's probably a good idea there, Commissioner Johnson. That way we can get on somebody's schedule the first of the year.
Commissioner Saylor?
I mean, I'm good with that. I mean,
Well, use your discretion, Sherry.
Well, and it's not a difficult project, really. You're putting up one wall, 33 foot and a door and no electric, period. It's a small project. It's just people trying to find time to do it
Sure. Because it's a small project.
because it's a small project. Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve.
second,
All in favor?
aye.
Motion carries.
It might be something that, like, they might find attractive in the winter months.
Yeah.
You know, to
Be
do
good work.
inside.
So should we go ahead then and put it out for RFP this year to schedule construction the first of the year?
Sure. Don't know where the money will come from, but go ahead.
And the fourth and final thing that I have on the agenda is review quotes to remove the shelves, file cabinets, and boxes from the Purdue Extension storage area to prepare for necessary work needed in this area. Commissioner Philippi had asked me to obtain prices for moving items out of the Purdue Extension storage in the lower area of the old courthouse to the unoccupied health department area in compliance with IC 522-6. I've received the following two quotes. I've asked them to break it down into two quotes simply because if they just give us one price for the entire job, I don't know how long it's going to take for us to get all of our work done. Therefore, we're going to be holding their money up. They've still got to pay their workers, and it could be for a significant amount of time. So I asked them to give me a price to remove. Then I asked them to give me a price to replace it back. Premier Furnishing Solutions came in at $485 each. Total job $970. 2 men and a truck came in, and it depends on 5 or 7 hours. Price to remove between $990 to $1,338. Price to return back $990 to $1,338. Total cost between $1,980 to $2,676. Premier Furniture is the same company that did all of our furnishing removal when we did the JC flooring project. I have discussed the funds for this service with Heather Solberg. Heather has advised that it can be paid from line item 30200, listed as other services, which currently has a balance of $11,500 in it.
So we would just be approving this in the lowest
Yeah,
bid.
low cost bidder.
Lowest bid. I mean,
Makes sense to me. Rather than tie our guys up.
for basically less than $500 each time, I think it's a deal. Make a motion to approve the Premier Furnishing Solutions bid for
Second,
Purdue Extension.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
Commissioners, I'm assuming you want that started ASAP, the notice to proceed.
I don't know. I guess then have to move it all out. Have you coordinated with the Purdue folks? Okay.
Okay.
So you guys are all lined out and know what's happening? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you, Commissioners.
Sherry, you have a handle on the door work that's going on.
Mhm.
Maybe what Ryan's doing. I'm not sure what's going on.
I
there
haven't-
myself.
I don't know about the date or anything on what Ryan's doing. The doors materials here are currently being constructed by Parker's.
We also need, there's a hole up there where that pipe is. That pipe probably needs removed. It's not being used anymore. And that brick needs mortared back in.
Is there any
I mean, it's probably
tuck
10
pointing?
bricks.
Is there any tuck pointing in that area?
After the bricks be put back in, yeah, I mean, part of the brickwork. That hole just needs filled back in. I don't know, maybe Brad or Josh can do that, I don't know.
I'll have him look at it. If not, then I'll get Troy Schreiber in to look at it. He's the same gentleman that did Debbie's and did an excellent job. Okay.
Sherry, where are you gonna set all this stuff at?
We're going to set it in the health department that's not being used.
Okay.
Yeah, just on the other side of the basement there.
Okay.
Yeah, probably another reason it was so inexpensive really to get it moved because they don't have to go up any stairs or elevators.
We
So,
just need to make sure that Ryan's okay with what we're doing.
okay. So just touch base with Ryan on that as well.
Because it will alter the readings in the room.
Okay, all right. Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you, Sherry.
Next order of business is our Grants Development Director.
Good afternoon, Debbie Bennett Steersman, Grants Development Director. All of the items listed, I failed to tell Heather are ARPA that I'm going to be talking about. So I brought tonight with me update on where we stand with the ARPA County funding. So you can, if you got to make a decision, you can look. The second page gives the details of what's left. So if you look at the second page, there is $306,885.32, interest of $89,783.56, making a total available $396,623.88. If you look down further, that's some of the tests that we're making tonight. So I wanted to tell you what the balance was after.
So all these requests are approved here tonight. We'll still be left with a balance of 309.
624.28.
And Debbie, do you anticipate any other monies coming back to us because of failure to get projects done? Because the project's got to be committed by the end of this year, correct? Is anybody not going to meet that deadline?
Well, I think there are some that will not. However, the county received a notice for ARPA. If you can come up with an agreement between the department and the commissioners, like a memorandum or interlocal agreement that money will be spent in the next 2 years, they will consider that an obligation. However, if they don't use it, you're going to lose it.
Did we, Debbie, did we not? And it could be a different fund, so bear with me.
Okay.
But did we not say that if any funds were not spent, that we would use that for the Warrick Humane Society?
Yes, if we had remaining funds, correct. You're correct. Well, okay, I'm thinking for a minute. That was out of the competitive funding.
So it's different funding?
Yes.
Okay.
So, and that's all gone.
So everything on here, Debbie, is your status. Everything that is complete, money's been obligated and spent and accounted for and all that, correct?
Yes. And the ones that are just under contract, we don't have to worry about.
So the ones that are blank under the status, they're still kind of open, so to speak.
Yes. And again, it will be your decision as to whether you want to enter into some kind of an agreement with those departments, or if you just want to take the money back.
Can I ask on the other services under the mainstream that says supplies, what is that still, what for 15,000?
So those are probably going to come back. We didn't spend those.
Okay,
That, and Baker Tilly only charged one bill that was like, it was minimal. They really haven't done that much.
so those two numbers, 25,000 and 15,000 could come back?
Yeah, it's probably more like in total around, Baker Tilly did send one bill. I think they've got 19,000 left on that contract, but They have not billed since the first year.
Okay. Freeman Park, and I'm sorry to go
It's
line
okay.
by line with these, but I just want to know where they stand. Freeman Park Maze, how come they're not doing that?
So the report I got at the last Parks Board meeting is they pretty much have the design done and they're getting ready to bid it out. So Joe feels like we will get it done.
Okay, so that's on track to.
Mhm,
still- okay,
correct.
Okay, moving forward, okay. Unsafe building program,
We haven't used any unless you come up with a program. I know we've discussed it, but there has to be a different ordinance before we can even do the program. So if you feel comfortable doing a interlocal agreement with the building with more or less with Jeff, then we can carry that through, but you'll lose it if it's not implemented in 2 years.
so, okay, I understand that
Where,
part.
where are you at, Dan?
About halfway down, unsafe building program.
Gotcha.
50,000. So just so I understand this, so if we don't do, and I'm almost saying interlocal, but an agreement with him, and the money's not obligated, we could lose it. I understand that part. So I guess the commissioners, we need to figure out whether this is going to be done or not, because the money's got to be obligated by 12/31, correct?
Yes,
So if we don't obligate this money by 12/31, we lose it.
correct.
Right.
You have to pay back Treasury.
So we,
Can we not use that for Linville?
yeah, that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm adding this up and so, and I'm not saying, if unsafe doesn't need 50,000, maybe they go to 20 or 25 or whatever, and we can put that towards that Linville EMS station. That's just my thoughts, just thinking out loud here, guys.
Yeah, me
The same thing with nuisance.
Mhm.
I don't
We've
know.
spent very little out of nuisance,
Yeah,
about
so we need to get with
$2,000.
Jeff and figure out. Need to talk with Steve. Steve's not here, is he?
No, he's not.
Where's he at with branding? Okay.
I've had discussion with him, so, but I don't know.
Okay, I'll
This-
talk with him.
So that's
I
the
think-
same with the revolving loan fund that he has. We have all the requirements. And we've talked to the treasurer about setting up a fund to recapture the repayments. But if I'm correct, to do a revolving loan fund, you'll have to do an ordinance and do a lending board, or I'm sorry, yes,
Yeah.
to be able to lend. So we haven't got through all that yet.
Time's
I
ticking.
think we need to sit down and go through this, Dan, and understand where we're at. Some of these.
So, and we also got fairground improvements on here.
They've got 16,000 left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought
I've
they
talked to
were-
them, so I
okay,
believe that money will be spent.
Okay. Okay, warning sirens, 200,000.
It's on the agenda next. I won't get into it yet.
Okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, I was just telling you. But yes, if you do not do anything with that money,
Okay, the purchase of trench rescue equipment, Ohio Township, are they on that?
they're on it. They're in the
Okay.
process.
Okay, Health Department signage, I guess we're on that. That's.
Yeah, half of that's
okay.
done.
Okay,
Thank you for it. We'll be solidly done.
And remember, the program that goes with this is the LATCF fund, and it has 100,000 in it. I don't have it on here.
right.
We have to go to the county council to get it appropriated, but you can spend it in the same manner.
Well, so, Linville Fire Station is in dire need of repair. If we don't do something, or I'm sorry, EMS, sorry. We've looked at, we've met with the fire department. I've not met with the town, but we gotta do something on that. I
agree.
know I've been talking with Commissioner Johnson. Sherry Severs has been up there. She's actually getting quotes on it. We've been up there with Tony O'Neill. Have contractors all over it. We still think the building is in shape enough to remodel. But if we have to rebuild it, we're talking $1.5 million plus dollars, where if we remodel, we can probably get it done for
50, 75, maybe.
no more than that for a total remodel, but it with new air conditioning, roof.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that. So, but Sherry's getting quotes on that now, if you want to add more to that, Sherry. But I think we could probably use some of that money out of this. So anyway.
Yeah,
go ahead.
we're estimating about 150,000 for that.
Okay.
And then that keeps us under the IC code that we need to for maintaining the building.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to put it out in an RFP to bid it to contractors so they can charge us 20% more for every service on top of what we need.
Okay.
So, and tomorrow I've met with flooring, I've got that. I've met with the AC people, I've got that. I'm meeting with the roof tomorrow. I'm meeting with asphalt tomorrow. I would say by the middle of next week, I'll have all bids in for windows and everything that I can come to the commissioners and Andrew, making sure that we're well within our statute.
Because it's snow walls, it's just really maintenance. I mean,
maintenance,
it's just
yeah.
really maintenance. Nothing's been maintained. So anyway, but the town still wants to talk, to have a conversation, and I'm willing to meet with them. I think they wanted to see if there was something that could work like we did with Ohio Township, but I don't think it will, but
Like what?
in addition.
On the fire department? That ain't gonna work. It costs too much money.
Well, and if we do an addition, that changes.
Well,
Yeah, that becomes a
guys, it changes
project.
everything, but they want to have a conversation.
Well,
But,
we can talk,
but-
but
it's, Ohio Township paid for that.
Yeah.
I think Linville's wanting
Linville's
us
not
to
going to.
pay for so I'm willing to talk to them. We just can't get together. So anyway. Okay.
So we know
We
what
all
we're-
good on what we have, and
Yep.
remember that 100,000 too, because that has to be gone by the end of this year too. So the
And
LATCF.
what are you calling that 100,000?
It's the local and tribal community fund. It was funding that was given out to communities and tribal nations that had money come from the federal government for programs they were doing every year before COVID. We didn't really have any of those programs, but they gave some of the counties 100,000. We got lucky and got it, and it's to be used exactly as general fund money, just like what we're doing right now. But it's like a sister to the ARPA funds, or brother.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Sherry.
All right, so we're moving along, warning signs. In 2023, EMA applied for funding to repair or replace warning sirens in Warrick County. On May 10, 2023, the commissioners approved and obligated a sum of $200,000 in ARPA County funds to the EMA for basically warning sirens. We didn't really define for sure what that meant, but we wanted to make sure and set money aside because I think they asked for 850 first, and so it's 200. Since that date, 2 invoices have been paid to Mounts Electric. One invoice was for $8,490 in April of 2024 for a new siren at the Heilman location, and the other was $4,489.37 for a new motor for a siren on Bell Road. So now there is a balance of $187,020.63 that EMA would like to use to do additional work. And I'm going to let Matt come up and explain, if he's not up here. Matt Gable with EMA to explain how he would like to permission to use it.
Matt Gable, EMA Director. Before I started in the Deputy Director's position, I heard about these funds. When I came in, that's all I've heard about was tornado sirens in Warrick County, how they are getting into their older ages. And I made it a project of mine to try to get it improved. So I've had quotes after quotes, and the first project was upwards of $700,000, and that would have brought 34 or 37 sirens to the county. And then with the recent tornado, it destroyed one of our sirens that's at Paradise. That's going to cost about $8,900 to fix. That will completely wipe out my communications funds to get that repaired. The reason why I want to use this money, it will give me 6 additional weather sirens, and then it will also improve Warrick County by a system that will track with the National Weather Service. We can use that system to put polygraphs, any kind of diagrams around a certain area. So if getting hit, Elberfeld's sirens will not be going off. It's just an upgrade to a system. There is a lot of talk between, are they out of date or are they still in to date? Me personally, I still get phone calls left and right about where we're going to get new sirens. Are we going to replace this siren? If it was out of date, other counties in our surrounding areas would not be adding more sirens to their locations. I think at this time, Vanderbilt County has 43 to our 18. So that's the reason I want to use this money to go and put it in areas that have actually grown. I did some research with area planning, and I found the growth where the county has been growing. And then there is some lackage of coverage in those areas. And I'd also replace some of the sirens that need to be replaced in certain areas that are in due, especially in Chandler. That one's leaning pretty bad. Thank you. All I know.
I'll speak here. So when we did the $200,000, I thought that was going to be earnest money to go toward a whole new system. That whole system needs replaced, in my opinion. I've been on the EMA advisory board for just about 6 years now, and this conversation is almost to the point where it's exhausting. There are some people who don't think we need the sirens. There are some people that think we do. I think we need a redundant layer of notifications. We need, your commercially available services. We need a mass notification system that can go to smart devices, and then we need the sirens. That's how I think it should work. And I think they should all be replaced and have one contiguous system that works and works right, not a 40-year-old siren here and a half repaired one there. And so that's just my 2 cents.
I agree with you, Commissioner. I do. So, my job as an EMA director is to bring the safety and security as with all first responders. And as you said, you've been on our EMA advisory board even before I came here. And that's the first thing I heard as a deputy director. And I told a lot of the EMA advisory board that my goal is to actually make it a reality, make it happen. So I've done a lot of research.
Bring us a plan. That's what I'm asking for.
Okay.
A plan of replacement or whatever you.
Yeah, I'm not in favor of putting a Band-Aid on anything.
Say that again, Terry.
I said I'm not in favor of putting a Band-Aid on anything.
So Matt, just on Terry's point, so it sounds like he's wanting a plan for replacement of all of them, and maybe, with some of these dollars coming back, we can get you, there can be some more, obviously probably not enough to fund the whole thing, but might be something there.
It's a start.
It's a start.
I'll say this, I'm not the here-all and be-all, but I believe that if you go back to those people that were on the core committee that decided that $200,000 and handed it off for the commissioners for approval, I think that was what they wanted. That's what I wanted. That's what I understood it to be. I don't know,
We
you
did
have to go
look back
talk.
and forth, and that's why we never, actually the 200,000, I went back to the minutes, was just at a commissioners meeting where we were wanting to set the money aside for certain projects, kind of like what Steve
I mean,
had, Steve
obviously
Raleigh.
the
So,
$850,000 initial
Right,
request for a
correct,
complete
correct.
system overhaul.
Correct.
And they didn't want to spend that much money, so you got $200,000.
and I probably made the decision for the 2 that he repaired because they were totally
Mhm.
gone and he didn't have any other funding to pay for them. So we took it out of there.
Yeah, that one off of Bell that it was struck, that's why that motor is gone. And the one that off Paradise, of course, was hit by the tornado.
But Terry, to your point, if he can get a quote for a whole system replacement, he doesn't have to replace the whole system at once. Maybe he can, phase it in as a system replacement. But your point is, you want to see a quote, whole plan on replacing this.
And it may take 4 or 5 phases.
So what do we do here? What's your,
Table.
you want to table this then? So he can come back, so give him a couple weeks to come back with or some time to come back with
The plan.
a plan?
I think so. That's my suggestion.
Is it a motion?
Sure.
You want to
Second.
take to the next meeting, or do you want to give him a little more time than
How
that?
much time do you need, Matt?
I can get it done
What,
in 2 weeks.
you think?
We'll try 2 weeks, and if not, we can
No.
go another 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's fine.
So
That's the 23rd.
23rd? All right. I make a motion, or Bob, did you make the motion?
Sure.
Second?
So to table to the 23rd,
Right.
right? And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
My motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I lost my agenda. The next item on the agenda is the utilities. A request for $65,000 from County ARPA to help assist the 4-H pay for an old utility. Probably let Andrew, you want to explain more about it or not?
Yeah, sure. So it had a city of Boonville came to 4-H and to the county about some old unpaid utility that actually bills were never sent out, but they said that there were about $50,000 in utility bills, sewer utility bills that had not been paid on that for that system. We negotiated a lot with the city of Boonville and came up with a agreement of something that would work to pay those utility fees and waive certain other fees and costs that of course we didn't want to pay or didn't think we should have to pay. And so between the 4-H and the county, there's an agreement to pay $75,000, which the 4-H has already paid 10 of that, and the other 65 would come out of ARPA for those utility fees to the city of Boonville, and would catch them up. And they've already been paying their utility sewer fees since 2019. So those are just old fees that are needing to be caught up to bring them current. And they already, of course, are paying and have been paying for several years now and will pay in the future. I do have a release and settlement agreement with the city of Boonville that would say this is resolved and paid in full, and that any other additional fees or penalties or interest or anything that they could claim, they're agreeing to waive with this payment of fees here.
Just a quick question, Jimmy. How many water bills do you get at the fairgrounds? Is it one bill, 2 bills?
2 most of the time, because the way we're set up, this kind of one of those tangled webs we started this, and I just since I'm on the roll, I'll just do that. When we started on that sewer line, we were told they put the sewer line in, we'll take care of all the tap in deal. All you do is keep paying your bills, living good. So in 2012, that job was completed. I should do that. I'm Jim Williams, president for 4-H Center Board. In order then to do that, we continued on, merry on our way until April, June, whatever it was of 2018. We went to the city and said, we'd like to put a separate meter in that we would call an irrigation meter. It would tap our outside hydrants. It goes to the barn area, and I essentially call it groundwater because it's water that we use to water livestock. It's wash off pigs and calves and whatever goes through the wash rack and all that. It's caught, gone on a tile and goes, and it's other than having somebody soap in it, but it goes to Roth Road in a tile. It's all contained. Done. So it's not putting in the sewer system. With that, when we made the application, they said, well, you haven't been paying sewer all along. So since 2012, when that line was in, then they came back and said 18. And so since 2018 or so, we started getting sewer bills and have paid and not missed one since that. And we keep the second meter is done then probably 6 months out of the year. It's not even on.
Right.
We disconnect it. because it's
just
that.
your groundwater.
Yes, and it is, and it's outside hydrant water.
That's what I was getting at,
yes,
was I
so-
didn't want to be paying sewer on that groundwater.
No, we are not. It was designated and is, as I get a bill, it is designated as a separate meter or a second meter.
Okay,
That is what they call an irrigation meter.
okay.
And to do that, but yeah, that's where it's at. So it's where that question is. So like I said, it's, and for me, I do appreciate everybody's effort into doing that for me.
So I've got a question, and somehow I can't believe there's any questions that haven't been answered for me at this point.
We all know.
Can you describe to me where out of the building that water line or that sewer line runs to?
They're one of the actual taps are made. There's a manhole cover there. If you come right in the driveway, and the first the junior leader stand is right there. The big green building, the alcohol building is the first building there to be on your right. The junior leader stand is on your left. There is a manhole right there. That's where the alcohol building and the junior leader stand and all that from there, homemakers building, all taps in that one stretch. And that sewer line continues straight south, goes down through there, and then we've tapped the little council stand and the exhibit building and there again, that was part of our ground and part of that stuff. But that's a seasonal use. We don't.
So it runs straight south until
Runs-
it hits the sewer line that was put in by Piernan in 2012.
No, that taps into the main sewer line there. That's the main sewer line running down the side of that driveway.
Okay.
And we're tapped onto the main sewer line that goes completely south.
Got it.
Yeah, we just cross the driveway where ours come across. We do, because it is all on the east side, or if you're coming in, it'll be on the left-hand side of the driveway. But the whole line goes all the way down through there, all the way to the back. There's a manhole right there at the corner as you go past the end of the building before you make the curve in the driveway. There's a manhole cover there. And like I said, as a matter of fact, I think there's still an additional area. I think there's an additional tap left out there. Could be found. But by now, it's probably covered up and way down, but we've had no stuff parked on it, but yeah. But yeah, and the best I know, it went due south, and I didn't follow it all those inches of the ways. I worried about where it crossed and went down through across 4/8 center ground, but where it crosses on down towards county and heads towards senior citizens, the best that I know.
I know it's been a frustrating week for you, so I appreciate you hanging in there.
Well, yeah, my frustration levels are a whole lot different than they were last week, but yeah, I appreciate everybody's efforts and, I'm working with it and getting it done. So it's like I said, it was one of those things I was disappointed in it. Felt like it was something that should have been taken care of, and why
I agree.
we're not do that, why it's dangle and clang, but anyway, I'll save that for the sidewalk.
Commissioners, what I would need from you is an agreement to pay the $65,000 out of ARPA and to approve the president of the board to sign this mutual release and settlement agreement.
So I've got some questions about the agreement.
Yes.
And I don't know if they could be hashed out later in detail, but, I didn't see anything about, it's just to cover the bills, basically.
This covers read it here. Any claims, allegations, demands, debts, contracts, damages, liabilities, disputes, losses, equitable relief, actions, or causes of action, compensation of any kind or costs, including attorney's fees of any kind or nature whatsoever, arising out of or from or due to or in any way growing out of or connected with this event.
Sounds like you got it covered.
I think I got it covered.
What about the maintenance of the line? And the takeover?
That specifically mentions that is not part of this agreement, that we continue to discuss and interlocal agreement determining.
We've got something we'd like to discuss with you on that one.
Okay.
So at this point, you need a motion, correct?
Correct.
I'll make the motion to pay the $65,000 out of the ARPA funds for the 4-H utilities,
And to have Jerry sign the agreement.
and have Terry sign the agreement. Thank you.
I'll have mine, we've got a board meeting tonight.
Second.
I'll bring it by tomorrow.
All in favor?
Aye.
My motion carries 3-0.
Next one's easier.
Good.
The county approved $2,500 from ARPA interest for TRICAP to purchase a new AED for their Head Start building. So we had to go to the county council last week to approve that appropriation because it was out of interest. So they approved it, and I forwarded a contract to TRICAP, which is very similar to the same contract that we use for the ARPA competitive. And TRICAP has signed it, and I just need your approval of the contract so I can get them the $2,500.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
Andrew, you're good with that contract?
It's the same one we use for
Same
the
one.
competitive.
Yep.
Dan, you'd think you'd built these better.
So the last on the agenda is for the Newburgh Girls Softball League. I received a request last week from Mike Jost, president of the Newburgh Girls Softball. He would like to replace the current roofing on the dugouts. So what you have in front of you are pictures he sent to me at the dugouts and the roofing where you can see it is crumbling in places there's big holes in it. The dugouts are 9 feet by 29 feet. The funding they're requesting will cover materials to replace the roof. Currently, the league intends to have the new roofing to be installed by a contractor unless they can do it themselves. The league will supply volunteer labor for the removal of the old roofs. And the cost is $2,200 per dugout. There are 10 dugouts, and the improvements should be made 2 at a time for each field. So the total request is $22,000. It's $2,200 per dugout.
Debbie, is this just for the roofing or is it for painting them as well?
It's for roofing. I asked him, currently they're shingled, but they would like to put metal roofing on for longevity. It's not really anything to the dugout. He said he would like to, I already said that, put on metal.
I talked to Mike a little bit and offered that suggestion.
What's that, metal?
Yeah, because I don't know how old that's not that old. That's probably only 15 years old, 20 years old.
It's going to get into the decking. You think it's going to get into the trusses at all?
No, not the trusses, but it's into the decking a little bit. The wind gets underneath there, the water.
I'm good with it.
Do these things have guttering, Dan? Any type?
No, I don't think so, Bob. Concrete below them, so it grips on concrete. I know it looks like guttering, but it's not.
Look pretty bad.
That's the field rate.
The second picture looks like my burn roof. Would I'm just throwing something out there. Would an extra $8,000 maybe get them the supplies they would need to get some volunteers to paint these things as well?
Yeah. Here's my thing. You know, he's having when my daughter was involved, we had tournaments out there. We had 4 tournaments out there that raised a substantial amount of money, and all that money went back into the park. Those days are gone, where he has to have sanctioned tournaments that he doesn't get the registration fees. He's not making the money that was generated 20, 25 years ago. So he has to have tournaments out there every weekend. So this park is getting used every weekend by, not only local people, but out of town people. So it's being utilized a lot more, but it's also being utilized by people from out of town. when you go out there and you see stuff in this kind of condition, it's a little bit,
Yeah, and then you got Deaconess Park up there off Lynch that looks
you got the
amazing.
Taj Mahal that's, so Bobby, yeah, a little extra money for paint and supplies would probably go a long way with them because they don't have the money.
Well, I was thinking maybe give the next, make it a $30,000.
I don't think that's gonna, but we would have to write in some kind of agreement that's what.
I was just going to remind you, this is county funds because you own the land.
Right.
It's whatever you decide. He just gathered the quotes and things for me. So if you want to do the painting or you want to volunteer to do the painting, you can right out there. No, seriously though, it's coming. That's how we treated the other repairs and renovations we did.
They do need, not only do they need painted, Bob, I think they need some of the boards replaced. Some of the
I think an additional $800 per unit would go a long way.
Oh, yeah, that would. Yeah, and I don't know if Mike figured the 2,200 on figuring some of that structure wood underneath it or not, but I think.
I don't think he did when I talked to him. Because that's what I thought too when I looked at the pictures.
So would it be okay to say we can give them 30 grand and have them do the roof and use 8,000 for repairs of the,
Yeah, as long as Debbie spells it out, what the money's being used for.
We don't have to get down in the weeds too much, do we? We just say it's
No.
used for the dugouts.
Because the invoices are going to come to the county because
Yep.
we're going to pay them out of there.
Yep.
So as I said, you can make what decisions you want and I can keep you informed on what their, the bids or whatever they're getting, the materials come in at. I think they were going to Lowe's, he said.
I'll make the motion
Second.
to donate or use $30,000 for the Newburgh Girls Club softball dugouts.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
My motion carries 3-0.
Thank you very much. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie.
Next order of business is county attorney.
Thank you, Mr. President. First item on the agenda is an amendment to our contract that we have with our health officer, Dr. Heinrich. And this amendment just clarifies a few things that our typical independent contractor agreement really didn't fit with some of the statutes that are applicable to health officer as different from most independent contractors. So this cleaned up some of that language to make sure that our independent contractor agreement aligned with the statutes that apply to health officers. So whereas most independent contractors would not be able to obligate the county, that a health officer by statute can. So we removed that language and made sure that includes language that he can obligate the county but only as permitted under applicable Indiana statutes, regulations, and our local ordinances that apply to health officers. So it just cleaned up some language and made it consistent with other Indiana law and local ordinance law. It just amends 2 of the paragraphs in this agreement. The rest of the agreement stands as is.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
My motion carries 3-0.
And I went out of order there. I apologize for that. That was actually item number B. Item A was the consulting agreement with Beth Croft, who came in and did some training exercises as well as some consulting for development planning of the various key performance indicators with several of the health board members, and that assists them in meeting some of those requirements that this new Health First Indiana plan is asking health departments to gather. I believe there were some Vanderbilt County Health Department individuals involved as well in that planning strategic session. And I believe on Wednesday there will be a report to the health board for some of what came out of that meeting. But this is a consulting agreement that is with Beth Croft for doing that service, which was billed at $100 an hour. and which already took place, but had been agreed to by consensus, and just needing to enter into the contract officially. And the statute allows for the county executive to approve consulting planning services for health departments and health boards.
Good with it?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
My motion carries 3-0.
Last item on the agenda, I'm actually going to ask you to table that for now. This is, this ordinance is one to amend our septic system regulations and fees to get into compliance with the new form statute that the state has, or form ordinance that the state has put together for counties to use. We've made some slight revisions. Marlon is reviewing that, and it'll need to be approved by the state before we can officially approve that in our meeting. So, so this will just need to be tabled for now. Hopefully by,
Tabling it.
yeah, we're going to table this till the next meeting. We're still needing to get state approval on this before we officially approve it. So.
Make a motion to table.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
My motion carries 3-0.
Like I said, hopefully the next meeting we'll have this ready to pass and implement. We just needed to get the state's approval first, which it's been sent off to them as my understanding. We just need to hear back from them.
Got it.
And that's all that I have.
Thank you, sir.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.